I don't care what substrate you use. Just make sure that it's code compliant. So if it's moisture resistant sheetrock, hey, that's fine. If it's tile, that's fine. Just make sure you stretch it up. All those other things, hey, that's just fine. But the very first thing I do is I'll go up with a straight edge or a level. I'm not checking to make sure that it's dead nuts level. I don't care that that bubble is perfect. What I'm doing is I'm just wiggling it, seeing if there are any voids. Now, if I'm 3/8 of an inch or less off, I'm just going to put an X there. Putting that X there just to know I'm going to go a little bit heavier with the adhesive right there because I want it solid as possible. If it's more than 3/8 of an inch, if it's a 1/2 inch, if it's a horrible wall, that's a good time to address it. Address it with either like a thin set, or being that I'm cheap, I like to carry a sheet of the wand with me. I'll rip shims out of that, and I can build it out an 1/8 inch at a time. I find that works real well. But Wetwall, being the thickness it is and the stability that it is, it's not going to show what's behind it. But we want to have a good adhesion. So I check. Don't measure just one spot because walls are different. So measure at the 3. Also remember, we don't have to be perfect. Wetwall covers itself. So we just need to be within 7/16 of an inch. So when we talk about cutting it, circular saw, table saw, jigsaw, router if you're fancy. I'm a huge fan now of those multi-tools, those reciprocating saws. I swear to you, I could do a complete install with one of those and a caulk gun. 64 tooth or better blade. Table saw, decorative side up because of the rotation of the blades. Now, I often explain to people that Wetwall cuts an awful lot like plywood. It cuts easier than plywood because there are no knots, there are no voids. So, if we were cutting it, draw the line, snap the line, use a track saw, I don't care. Cut it kind of straight. That's good enough. When I go to a job that has an installation problem, very first thing is I draw what that adhesive pattern is supposed to look like. Then I bring out my pieces of rope because we want a 1/4 inch bead of adhesive on it. So I said, we don't want just a 1/4 inch wide, it needs to be a 1/4 inch projection. So make sure you're using enough. Adhesive is cheap. Tearing out a panel is expensive. Our adhesive pattern, between a 1/2 inch and an 1.5 inch across the, around the perimeter. Every 12 inches across. I don't touch the lines. Don't touch the lines because as it goes up, as it gets squished down, we want air to be able to flow through the whole thing so it cures completely. So those are the things I look for when I'm on those jobs. Then I pull a panel off. Would love to show you all during lunch some of the flipping nightmares I've seen after I pulled it off. But I'll tell you this, I pull it off and every time so far, someone has sworn when I pulled it off because they know it's on them. So it's very definite. You do this, you're good. You don't do this, you could have problems. So, after we've cut it, before we put that adhesive on, we dry fit. Because it is a heck of a lot easier to fix it before we get that adhesive on. Once you get that adhesive on, you're going to be fighting yourself and you're going to make it a hot mess. So we put the adhesive on. Again, about a 1/2 inch to an 1.5 inch. Here's what scares me with how the new one flows. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I've got the adhesive on, I'm good. The hell you are. That's where the piece of rope comes in real well. You good with that? I'm not. So make sure, take your time putting it on. Remember, in every box, we've got our installation instructions. Because here's the magic part. Ready? Did we all miss it? Yeah. So, we get it in place. We hold it on, and we're good. No. Because here's the important step here. We need to roll it down and squish it. We want that bead of adhesive to spread out. Does two things at that point. Number one, it increases the surface area of the adhesion. Number two, it acts as a vacuum so that the panel holds in place. All well and good. I will tell you, I like bracing it just the same, because especially when we have a big panel, I like to have it hold in place. I don't want something ratcheted down and pulled tight as tight can be, because that could bend the whole panel. Instead, what I suggest is spring-loaded shower curtain rod holders, because we just want to hold it in place. Again, when I was in construction, not only did I cut things wrong, but I would leave stuff on job sites. If I just leave a curtain rod holder, that's not a big loss right there. Really do suggest a 3-inch roller. Customer says, I don't have one. Tell them it's available on Amazon for about $13. Invest in yourself, for goodness sakes. They said, want to use a 12-inch roller? Hey, that's fine. Push harder. We want about 30 PSI. So we squish it down, and it's in place. Always want to have a gap. Always want an 1/8-inch gap at least, because walls move, temperatures change. If ever someone's come to you and said, hey, the tongue and groove has come apart, what we found is happening is they're making it dead nuts tight on that back wall. Tight as tight can be. They're doing it all fine, but it's so tight. During the winter, as the building envelope shrinks down a little bit, it pushes it out at that tongue and groove. So it's not so much that it's pulling apart, it's pushing out. So as I put the second panel up, I'm going to show how I instead run a bead of sealant along that back wall, along the base, and I sink the panel into it. And I just find that that works a heck of a lot better. In terms of PPE, whenever you cut something, protect your eyes. However, with a lot of the materials, and when I think about cultured marble, other things in this area, you always have to wear, masks, dust masks, respirators, because that dust is the deadly dust. You don't have to do this because molecularly, Wetwall is heavy enough that that dust settles. So, while we're cutting, it's very easy to make these cuts. Again, I'm going to be putting the adhesive on the panel this time. All of these adhesives and sealants figure about a 15-minute skin over time, 24 hours, and it's fully cured. So 24 hours, you can use it. In terms of cleaning it up, the quicker you clean up, the easier it's going to be. So don't dilly-dally on that kind of stuff. We're going to set it into. Doing it this way, there's a very good chance that I'm going to have to put a face bead on it, but I know that I'm sealed well to the substrate.
Are you on the wall or are you going in the...
I'm on the panel itself.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm running it right along the edge of that panel, because as I set this in, I'm going to squish it out, and I want to see a little bit of bleed. Use a little bit of denatured alcohol. Very carefully spray some on. It allows the whole thing to be worked with. We simply scrape up any excess. We can work it as much as we want to. This sealant is paintable. If you cleaned it and you have a void, you can go over it with more sealant. Use enough of it, for goodness sakes. But it's very easy like that.